Hey, what is going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, coming back at you guys with some more Destiny 2 gameplay on the PC. And this time around, we're going to be talking about the state of some of the current events going on within Destiny 2. But before we get into that, I do need to make kind of an important announcement. This is something concerning the game that it's kind of an important thing, so if you need to take a seat, because this one is big. We are about 3 weeks into the launch of Forsaken. Yeah, a good 3 weeks into the launch of this expansion. It's been out for a little bit, we're almost a full month in, and I am still enjoying Destiny 2's PvP in a way like never before. I repeat, I am still enjoying PvP in Destiny 2. And look, I know that is a shocking statement given some of my thoughts about PvP in D2 for the past year or so. I can virtually hear some of you gasping for intake of air as some of you hit that full face of shock and indignation. But yes, I am 3 weeks in and still loving just about every second in Destiny 2's Crucible. And that's really what this video is going to be circling around, because I've even enjoyed the Iron Banner, which is a first for me in D2. And I really just wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about the Iron Banner as an event in Destiny 2, what I really like about it this time around, and what I feel could really use some additional work, some fine-tuning, and maybe a bit of a revamp in Iron Banner events moving forward. So, the Iron Banner has been live for almost a week now. It goes away tomorrow, September 25th, and it's for the most part been a pretty good event. I've actually really enjoyed my time in the Iron Banner this time around, mainly because of the big changes that have come to Crucible since Update 2.0 and then Forsaken originally dropped. Crucible is a much more fun environment for me now. It's much more frantic. There's a lot more moving around, a lot less of the nut-to-butt team hugging that we saw back in year 1 of D2, although there's still quite a bit of that going on. People have to break out of those habits, but it's so fast-paced. You can just rush around, you can make plays. There's definitely a lot of shotgun aping going on. Believe me, I am fully aware of the shotgun aping going on, but there's plenty of counters to it. Maybe not as many as there could be. There should be, I think snipers could probably be a little bit stronger, but fusion rifles are working pretty well to stop shotguns. SMGs work pretty well to stop them. There's a lot of options out there right now, and I think the special weapon economy is just so good. But we'll talk about some of that in a later PvP-centered video, because this one is about Iron Banner, and Iron Banner for me has been pretty fun. So let's get into some of the things that I really like about Iron Banner this time around. Outside of the gameplay just being fun, I like the way the new reward system works. Now, of course, at Lord Saladin we have the new weekly bounties. These bounties have essentially replaced the rank up system from Iron Banner back in year 1 of D2, where you had rewards that you could earn by simply reaching certain ranks within Iron Banner. Now all you have to do is complete certain bounties, and then you'll get access to buying the gear from Iron Banner. I think this is a fantastic system, and I think there are a lot of reasons why. First and foremost, this rewards you. This gives you direct rewards for actually participating in the Iron Banner event. You've got clear goals that are set up. You can come in, you can pick up these bounties, you say, okay, I need to complete this bounty to get the chest piece, this bounty to get the helmet, and then you can work towards that, as well as working towards some of those weekly bounties that grant you powerful gear. It just gives you a much more structured feel to the reward system in Iron Banner than the previous system did, where you could certainly buy weapons and armor after you hit certain ranks, but it just kind of felt like you were just slogging through match after match after match, sometimes loss after loss after loss, arbitrarily trying to get to like rank 15 or rank 25 so you could get one weapon or one piece of armor. It just didn't feel very rewarding, and I think this is a much better way to do it. You have the bounties that are right there. You can clearly see what the goals are. If you're really good, you can get those done within a relatively short period of time, and then you can get your rewards directly from that. When you mix that in with the fact that you can get armor and weapon drops from, the post-game rewards, it means you've got a much better chance this time around, if you're someone who's maybe passively interested in Iron Banner, to actually get a full set of gear. I love that there's just a direct way to get this stuff. I think it's a pretty good change for Iron Banner, and I would love to see them expand upon it further. They can certainly still offer weapons and armor for purchase, when you reach certain ranks, but I really like having the rewards that you can purchase from Lord Saladin tied directly to the challenges he's giving to you. It gives you a great sense of control over the rewards that you're getting. You know what you're working towards. It's a good feeling. Speaking of control, let's talk a bit about the game mode for Iron Banner. Control is apparently the most popular PvP game mode. And it's certainly one that has felt right at home with Iron Banner since its original launch back in D1. And I think all of that is well and good. I don't really mind control that much, but I really do wish that we could get maybe a little bit of a sprinkling of Clash in there every now and again as well. I've argued for a long time that Iron Banner should kind of act, you know, sort of like the quick play playlist in and of itself, where sometimes it'll be control, sometimes it'll be Clash. And I think there are a lot of reasons for that. Remember, control is basically just Clash with extra steps. You're just holding points. And of course, control has seen some pretty big changes within the Iron Banner. We've got the new lockout system, which I think is both really good for teams that know what they're doing and really bad for teams of random blueberries that don't. Either way, I think that lockout mechanic is actually a really good way to get people up and moving rather than just having them hunker down on, you know, A and B or A and C on, say, the burnout, and then just holding those points indefinitely. The lockout system is a great way to benefit players and teams that are playing really well. You know, if you've got a really coordinated team that, like, we'll use the example of burnout again, that locks down A and C on that map, builds up a bunch of points, and then someone pushes out to C, gets that 20-second lockout on C, and then everybody moves from their deeply entrenched positions and starts slaying up to get the massive boost in points. When you're on a team that's cohesive and works like that, it feels really great to coordinate those plays, triple cap when it's advantageous to your team, you know, when you're not going to completely ruin spawns and have people popping up directly behind you on C or on A or something. When you take all three of those points and then everybody just moves out with supers and stuff to slay up and get a massive point advantage, it feels really good. But on the other hand, if you're maybe solo queuing into the Iron Banner, your control experience might be a little bit difficult. Because sometimes, you know, through no fault of your own, you'll be thrown onto teams with people who really just kind of refuse to play the objective. They'll just run around, they'll ignore points, they won't cap A, they won't cap B, they won't even touch their home point. And sometimes they'll triple cap, or they'll just push a little bit too far into A and cost you your perfect flag on C on the distant shore map. What I'm getting to here is sometimes control can be a little bit frustrating for solo queuers, especially when they're getting put up against coordinated 4, 5, or 6 stacks. Which definitely is happening, even on PC in the Iron Banner right now. I've definitely had some instances of being thrown up against full fire teams, which when you're solo queuing can kind of make control a little bit of a nightmare. And so while I don't mind the control game mode too much, I would enjoy it if, like, we could get some Clash peppered in as well. I don't really think that would do any harm, since you don't really have to worry too much about strategizing with people. You can carry a group in Clash pretty well for the most part. It's much harder to carry a group of people who are ignoring objectives in control. And sometimes it can kind of feel like solo queue players are being punished for that sort of thing whenever they go into the Iron Banner game mode. On the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a complaint, since you're still getting rewards either way, whether you win or you lose. You're getting less tokens, but if you're completing those bounties, you're still getting some pretty big drops either way. One way or another, it's all about the rewards though, and that's really the heart of my biggest sticking point, my biggest criticism of the Iron Banner this time around. We had a huge change with Iron Banner here in Season 4. Power matters. If you are a higher light than other Guardians, you are going to be in a stronger position. You're going to take less damage from them, and you're going to deal more damage to them. Now, the power level advantage isn't really that insane. You know, if you're 10 light above somebody, you're not like an untouchable monster of a Guardian who's just plinking off immune every time they try to hit you with their 10 bases. No, the power curve is pretty subtle in Iron Banner. I think it might be around the same as what it was back in Destiny 1. So you'll really feel those advantages if you're going up against somebody who's 50, 60, 70 light above you. But for the most part, the biggest difference I've noticed is that I couldn't one-shot shoulder charge some people when I was playing on my Titan. But my point here is that with power being re-enabled in the Iron Banner, it creates a sort of environment that feels much more like the in-game event that Iron Banner back in Destiny 1 felt like. Some of these games get pretty hard and sweaty, and I have to admit that it doesn't really feel great to see that power level appropriate rewards aren't really being dished out as much as they probably should be with the Iron Banner. If you remember way back in D1, Iron Banner was a great way if you were somebody who didn't have a chance at the raid, didn't have, a dedicated raid group or something like that. Iron Banner was a great monthly event that you could utilize to get powerful drops that were relevant to your overall light. And I feel like that sort of system, especially with power levels re-enabled within the Iron Banner, would probably lend itself a little bit better to Lord Saladin's inventory. Now, I'm not saying it should rain powerful drops every time you complete a match, but I think, every now and again, a post-game drop should be relevant to your overall power level. It's not like you're getting legendaries every single time you compete. But I think that would be a great thing to have. Personally, I think the token system works fine as it is right now. There's kind of a bit of a visual glitch with Lord Saladin. You've probably noticed it. If you go and you turn in enough tokens to get an engram from him, it'll show something that's relevant to your light, but really drop well below your current level of power. They should probably get that fixed, and I think it's fine that the engram drops from Lord Saladin don't drop at your light level. I think that is perfectly fine, that's okay. But the post-game drops, when you get that rare Claws of the Wolf to drop, maybe after your 5th or 6th win, I definitely think, especially with the environment that we have within the Iron Banner in Destiny 2 as it is here in Season 4, I definitely think those post-game random drops should be relevant to your overall light. Maybe not the Nightfall tier rewards where it's something like 10 to 12 points above your current power level, but certainly something on the lower tier of powerful engram rewards where it's like 1 to 5 light above where you're at. Iron Banner is a week-long event. It's a limited time thing. And going through all of that with power levels enabled and maybe fighting against some pretty organized teams, only to get a Claws of the Wolf at like 5-10, as your post-game drop, might have a great role, but it still kind of leaves an underwhelming feeling like, oh, that wasn't really kind of worth the effort that I just went through. And I don't really think that would cause too many problems with the overall grind for power level within D2. Iron Banner, given its current state, the current benefits of it, the great rewards, the great weapons and armor. Some of those weapons are really good, by the way. The rocket launcher is top tier, and I'm really enjoying that pulse rifle. But Iron Banner could really be, just like it was in D1, that alternative path for people who may not be that great in PvE, who may not have time to run Last Wish on 3 characters every single week. It could definitely still be that avenue for characters who just like to play PvP to get themselves caught up and leveled up, maybe not quite as much as somebody who's doing all the PvE stuff, but certainly to a recognizable degree. And I think that would be a better way to reward players than by just granting them their 2 powerful drops from completing those 2 weekly bounties with Lord Saladin. Again, it's not that big a deal, but given the current state of the Iron Banner and the power level advantages that are found therein, I definitely think that post-game drops could show Guardians a little bit more love when it comes to bumping up your light. That's certainly a change I would love to see implemented into the Iron Banner moving forward. After all, this is supposed to be a premier monthly PvP event. Gotta give people a reason to play. But alright Guardians, that is pretty much it for my thoughts on the current state of the Iron Banner. Just to summarize, I'm enjoying it. It's actually been fun. This is the first Iron Banner I've played in a long time in D2 that I've actually wanted to grind through and wanted to enjoy. I haven't gotten all the bounties done. That complete 30 matches one is looking a little bit daunting, but I got a lot of the stuff done, and I do believe I got a full set of armor at least on 2 of my characters. That's way more work than I put into previous Iron Banners. I think Control is fun. I would love for Clash to be added in, and I definitely think that the rewards could be bumped up a little bit more. We should definitely look at maybe having some powerful drops as post-game rewards, maybe on random. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the Iron Banner. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. Are you enjoying this Iron Banner here in the new world of Destiny 2 Forsaken? What do you like about it? What do you dislike? What would you love to see changed? Be sure to let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But that's going to be it for this one, Guardians. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.